Thank you for joining me for my daily Come Follow Me study of the Book of Mormon. Today is Tuesday, the 20th. And we're going to start with a daily reflection on the Book of Mormon. Is it too much to hope that it's Friday already? I'm just kidding. Okay. We see that God is mindful of every people, whatsoever land they may be in. Yea, he numbereth his people, and his bowels of mercy are over all the earth. Now this is my joy and my great thanksgiving. Yea, and I will give thanks unto my God forever. Amen. Alma chapter 26, verse 37. Our hearts overflow with rejoicing when we ponder the mercy of our God. Whether in this life or the next, the gospel will go to all people. All of his children can obtain the assurance of salvation through obedience to the laws and ordinances of the gospel. He wants us to become like him and share in his everlasting joy. Elder Boyd K. Packer taught, no matter what citizenship or race, whether male or female, no matter what occupation, no matter your education, regardless of the generation in which one lives, life is a homeward journey for all of us. Back to the presence of God in his celestial kingdom. Ordinances and covenants become our credentials for admission into his presence. To worthily receive them is the quest of a lifetime. To keep them thereafter is the challenge of mortality. Thanks be to God for his infinite love and his eternal plan of happiness. On Sunday, I'm teaching the lesson about the plan of salvation, the plan of happiness. And that's about as far as I've got. Here's the thing. I did the study on the plan of salvation, right? I did the whole Advent calendar about the plan of salvation. And so I think I'm having trouble not deciding what to say, but where to take the lesson and what questions to ask and so on and so forth. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so today is Alma chapter 55 and 56. Long chapters. Okay, Moroni refuses to exchange prisoners. The Lamanite guards are enticed to become drunk, and the Nephite prisoners are freed. The city of Gid is taken without bloodshed. That's basically the whole thing. And then chapter 56 is Helaman writing to Moroni, explaining their progress in the land. It's kind of like a progress report, a missionary progress report. He's writing to his mission president and explaining, what he's doing, what has been done. We haven't gotten to the part where he says that the government isn't sending support. He's just talking about the stripling warriors and how they were used in a strategy to take a city. And this is the chapter where they say they do not doubt because their mothers knew it. I did find a trust verse in these two chapters today. It is chapter 56, verse 46. For as I had ever called them my sons, for they were all of them very young, even so they said unto me, Father, behold, our God is with us, and he will not suffer that we should fall. Then let us go forth. We would not slay our brethren if they would let us alone. Therefore let us go, lest they should overpower the army of Antipas. We all know the story. I'm not going to recount it, but my little statement says that when we trust in Heavenly Father, that leads to courage in the face of battle with the enemy. And as we like in the scriptures, to ourself, the battle with the enemy is, of course, Satan. And every single day, we kind of need that courage to go against him, to continue the fight. Do not weary in well-doing. You can weary in the fight. sometimes can be wearisome. She's awake. Okay, let's get into our commentary. Today is her last full day at home. Okay. Just a teeny tiny thing here on 55, so we won't read it. Let's get into 56. Never had I seen such great courage. Now they never had fought, yet they did not fear death. They had been taught by their mothers. All right. Faith is the governing power in such circumstances. Righteous motives inspire one to greater heights. When coupled with faith, such motivation infuses our actions with power. Look unto me in every thought. Doubt not, fear not. The legacy of faith is taught by devoted parents, especially through the nurturing guidance of mothers. Yields a harvest of valor and courage in the lives of grateful and obedient children of Zion. At this time, two great Loki, L-O-C-I, of military action are established to protect the Loci. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Okay. Protect the Nephite nation from the invaders, one of them under the control of Moroni and his troops, and the other under Helaman and his little army of 2,000 from the Ammonite colony. The strategic skill and indomitable courage of these generals and their compatriots eventually carries the day and re-establishes peace in the land, but not before an enormous price is paid in casualties and societal upheavals. Let's see. We can carry the example of the sons of Helaman in our own lives. They do not fear death. They are concerned with the liberty of the people. They doubt not because they have been full of faith, just as their mothers have taught them. Let us do all we can to increase our faith and the faith of others. Faith empowers doubt, not fear. Faith overpowers doubt, not fear. Oh, I need to go back to bed. Faith overpowers doubt and fear. That is why we do all we can to increase the faith within ourselves and others, for in faith all things can be done. Joseph Fielding Smith illustrates the faith and courage his grandmother bestowed on his father through her example. He was deprived of his father's loving and needed care and protection, but when 6 years of age, through the wicked, murderous hate of a fiendish mob, among which were found professed ministers of religion. Fortunately, he was left in the care of a loving, capable, highly religious mother, whose soul was filled with a faith and fortitude which carried on in the face of almost insurmountable difficulties. By her, he was taught strict obedience to the laws of God. Because of her faith and integrity to the truth, he learned not only to rely on her counsels in his tender years, but the impressions she left upon his soul continued with him through all his years. He almost worshipped her. He saw in her constantly the spirit of inspiration made manifest in the conduct of her daily tasks. His confidence in her was not shaken, because her confidence and faith in the Lord were not shaken through all the trials and persecutions she was forced to go. The impression made upon his soul through the humble and unwavering fidelity of his mother to the cause of truth became a sure and safe anchor to his soul through all the trials and vicissitudes of his eventful life. Well could he say, "Nothing beneath the celestial kingdom can surpass my deathless love for that sweet, noble soul who gave me birth, my own mother. She was true, she was pure, she was indeed a saint, a royal daughter of God. To her I owe my very existence, as also my success in life, coupled with the favor and mercy of God." what better, like, compliment as a mother, as that, it's just, how, that's what you want someone to think and say about you, whether as a mother or not, as a friend, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter, as an aunt, you know, or the male version of all those things. What a beautiful tribute. In my patriarchal blessing, it says that I'll have a special ability with the very young, and what is it? Okay, it says, teach those children to love the Lord and to stand uprightly before him, and they will be the jewels in your crown, for they will bless you all your days. I've always thought that's a beautiful blessing. Like, to have the children that are around me be the jewels in my crown. The thing that I think that's beautiful. Anyways, to have your child say that about you, that's beautiful. To have anybody say that about you, beautiful. Just beautiful. I love that. All right. That's all. It gives like 2 other memories. But we're going to call that good. Okay. Let's do our daily reading on prayer. Today is only Tuesday. Tuesday the 20th, the day 233. Divine Tutorials, Gerald N. Lund. We may not get an answer to our prayers because the Lord is about something much greater in our lives than we can see at the moment. Years ago, I was in a church history class at BYU. We had studied the Missouri persecutions, the exile from Nauvoo, the sacrifices of the saints as they made their arduous journey across the plains to the Rocky Mountains, especially of the Willie and Martin handcart companies. After we rehearsed that catalog of adversity and suffering, one of the students asked this question: why was the way so hard? I know they were being tested, but did it have to be so relentless, so intense? The professor's answer showed tremendous insight into the purpose of God. He said, What you have to realize is this. There was a great work to be done, and these people were just common folk. They weren't great crusaders or proven heroes. However, by the time they had reached the valley, many of the physically weak had died, and almost all of the spiritually weak had apostatized. So what Brigham Young had left to work with was pure steel. What may appear to be indifference on God's part may actually be one of the greatest evidences of his love for us. Like so many other saints before us, we may simply be in the midst of an intense divine tutorial. Goodness me. Goodness me. There was a great work that had to be done, and these people were just common folk. They weren't great crusaders or proven heroes. However, by the time they had reached the valley, many of the physically weak had died, and almost all of the spiritually weak had apostatized. So what Brigham Young had left to work with was pure steel. Again! I want to be pure steel. That's what I want to be, pure steel. Okay. Before we do our Read It, Do It, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it again, but for the curriculum for next year, I've run into several roadblocks. I had talked about doing Preach My Gospel. That's not going to work. I read a couple of the chapter headings in the, index or whatever. That's not what it's called. Table of contents. Not going to work. And then I went through the word a week. This thing that we got, this reading, these posters were for 4 years ago, and so they don't line up with each week. Some weeks do, but there are at least 3 or 4 weeks that don't line up, so we could still do it and just apply it to, and I thought, well, maybe this word a week thing, we could do this and then just read some general conferences that have to do with the thing. Some of the words just don't work. So running into a roadblock there. And then there was another roadblock, but I can't remember. So I keep trying to go forward with certain things, and I keep hitting a roadblock, and we'll just see where we go from here. But that's for next year's curriculum. I know, like, it's August, right? It's the end of August. So I kind of really want to have this done before November, but also before I go on vacation. That would be nice. I want a project to be done. Okay? Advents are almost done. I'll post a video when they're done so you guys can see what I've worked on for this year's Advent. It's just, I want some stuff to be done. I want it all out of my brain. But anyways, let's end it with a read it, do it. Today is August 20th. Alma chapter 55 and 56. They highlight chapter 56 verses 47 and 48. 2 things were more important to the stripling warriors than their lives: remembering the liberty of their covenant-keeping fathers, never doubting the counsel of their faith-filled mothers. Be covenant-keeping and faith-filled. That's a good one too. Lately, they've been doing a lot of good ones. Okay, so that was Alma chapter 56 and 57, and tomorrow we do chapter 50. Nope, that was chapter 55 and 56, and tomorrow we do chapter 57, if I could focus. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.